Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Stock Bros. I'm Bub, and I'm joined with Shankster. Say hi, Shankster.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Today,
Shangster. I used to be a gangster, but now I'm part of the Stock Bros.
that's right, and he's here to talk about Tesla's true competitor. Get ready for this
hmm
one. So, who's the only true Tesla competitor? I know Tesla's competition. There's Neo, Xpeng, Li Auto, but there's one that's not, I would say, in the headlines in the market often, but they do have a strong competition and they're notorious lately. Shed some light on who that might be, Shankster?
Yeah, I'm gonna give one. I think a lot of people really think about a lot of the Chinese companies who are making electric cars, or even BMWs, GM, and Ford. But really, I think this is the grandfather of all. If not, they were probably the first one really stepping up to the plate and competing with Tesla. And I truly believe they will still be there. Maybe not a company rebranded, renamed, but they're really the true competitor there. So that company is Faraday Future, FF to be short. Funny name. Probably most people never heard about it because nowhere probably even listened to these electric companies until recently. But this company has been around for a while. For most people who don't know, it's actually based in United States, California, similar to what Tesla is also kind of funded on. It's actually backed by a super billionaire and a little bit controversial from China that has a grand vision, has a lot of fundings, and really build an excellent engineering team to build the foundation of this car and then also the platform. Uh, Personally, I actually knew someone. I study engineering myself, and I know someone who is very smart, and I'm working for this company. I mean, they don't tell me much about it, but I know they're working on some really cool stuff, and they were there on the first day when they started this company. So really cool stuff. You can see the things they're coming up with, and this is just the tip of the iceberg what they will produce. Yeah.
So Faraday Future. Um, So how would you say they stand up against the competitors like Neo, Xpeng, and Li Auto versus Tesla? Like, would you say that they're the closest competitor to Tesla, or what's their situation right now?
Yeah, great question. I think Faraday Future was actually, in many ways, think of them, they are the one who started the entire Chinese electric cars. I mean, this is a Chinese brand. It is the innovators are, based in China, based in the United States, a worldwide company. I think the key difference is that this company actually started here in the United States where I think a lot of companies you see that are coming out of China, they're still based in China, which, by the way, right now is number one largest market in terms of cars and also electric cars, right?
Okay.
But Faraday really, the foundation of the technology is really cool because that car is fast. Like I'm talking about faster than Tesla fast, and in the market, electric car market, there are very few companies can even step to what Tesla territory is, and they're doing some crazy stuff. And also, I think one thing I have to say is that um, the technology they're using, it's not something Tesla don't know how to do, or maybe don't. How do I say this? They're innovating. So that's something unique. You need to concentrate. And when you're looking at new cars and electric vehicles, because they're not trying to just copy things or trying to like mimic or replicate companies that are out there. They're actually innovating and pushing a boundary of research and development.
Okay, so then why are they not headlining? For example, like Neo has been headlining for the past couple of months. Tesla has been in the news since forever. Um, how am I, as like an average, event investor, a stock bro, as you would say, tell my stock bro friends about Faraday? Like, should this be on our radar? Is this publicly traded? Can I buy this company? Have they had any vehicles on the road? Are they in China? What's going on there?
Yeah, great question. So the number one problem with Faraday Future and a lot of other companies that they don't really exist yet. They're not in production yet. They're still at a very early stage building up this huge company and doing a lot of heavy research, right? So unlike Neo, Xpeng, or Li Auto, who has some market share already, start producing cars and building cars already in China, they're still in my opinion, the early development phase, but ready for production in United States and other countries. That's sort of the key difference, right? And also, I may add, who people who might Google this, there was a lot of controversial of how the money got funded for this company, specifically from the founder, who is pretty much a billionaire. And there's some controversy on how he got the money, and there's even some government hunting him down from China to make sure he's paying his taxes and things like that. But that's part of the sort of dirt behind the company itself that maybe is steering away from the big news and also investor away from the company itself.
So if there's all this controversy, and they don't have anything on the road yet, then how are they a viable competitor to Tesla and the other autos?
Yeah. So cars and companies go through these controversial, news and legal battles all the time, right? You guys remember when iPhones are just copying each other, Microsoft being sued by Apple, and then all this kind of crazy stuff. This is what large companies go through, right? But if they can survive this, this is one of the biggest company that will ever exist, and stock anyone who's going to be looking into stock will be investing in this company because they have the infrastructure, the funding, and the technology to overtake any of these small mom and pop shops that are coming up in China or anywhere else. So that's the key.
So is Faraday Futures, is it, I can see a company here, Faraday Technology Corporation, traded on the Taiwan exchange. Is that the same company then? Like, is this company, like, do you know if they're going to IPO, or like, are they available? Can I buy the stock, or what's going on with it?
No, I think because a lot of controversial sort of the behind the scene, um, essentially the founder themselves are at one point struggling with additional funding to keep the company alive. A lot of things are now aligned in terms of financial piece. But it seems like they're still surviving, and in fact, they're growing and expanding new product lineup, which is pretty incredible. Consider how expensive it is to run a company like this.
Okay. Um, so you have some, I'd say, friends that work for this company then. Do they feel comfortable with this company working there based on all this controversy, or is this just another like bump in the road to something that may be big?
I think it's really is a bump in the road, but you have to understand, car company is one of the most difficult company to start IPO. I think Tesla for the correct, I might be incorrect on the exact number, but there haven't been a car that raised an IPO, a car company raised an IPO for something 60 or over 100 years in the United States, and Tesla's the first one. So coming in with the second one here, it's going to be, I think really Tesla paved the way, and companies that like Faraday and Tesla inspire companies now like Neo and Lee and Xpeng, I think comes like that. So I think once they kind of clear their image a little bit and getting the right funder and trusting the company, you will see this company being IPO shortly.
Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on Faraday on the radar, see what's going on with them. So, do you want to talk about Tesla in China for the remaining time here? How is Tesla doing in China? What's something that we would not know about here in North America, and that we would like to know what's going on in China?
Yeah, absolutely. So just so the people who don't know or never been to China or has, maybe not so much clear insight of in China, Tesla is a cult there. Tesla is a cult as how much people love Apple or big brands like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Tesla is the golden child of luxury cars in China, and it has a cult following like no other. In fact, Tesla is so big there, and the government loves it so much. They're the only company. Okay, I want to make this clear. They're the only company that actually entered to China, and they're actually not obligated to sell 50% of the company's ownership to the government. I make that clear. So every single car company you see that manufactures in China, like BMW, GM, Mercedes, all these companies, more than 50% is sold to the government right there. Tesla is the only exception, which is that's a statement on its own, especially to a government like China is running.
Why do you think that? Why how did this deal get happen in the first place then?
Yeah, so there's a lot of political openness and also just willingness to work with Tesla. Because China, you have to understand, it is a very diverse country in many ways, and a lot of the political system is constantly changing. I think a lot of people still think China is a communist country. They're far from that. In fact, they're the definition of capitalism, if you put it that way, in many forms. But they're also experimenting ways of how you can attract more investors and also partnering with companies. And more specific, I think this is I'm gonna pause for a second, but this, in my opinion, is the most important aspect is that China has a very, very high use of energy, right? And they want to be
Mhm.
the leader of the most efficient way of extracting natural resources in the best way. And car is number one. They want to reduce carbon footprints and also making sure that they have a sustainable use of energy. Most people don't know, but China, pretty much about 60% of their energy use are actually sourced from other countries. So they want to keep steering away from that dependency and building sustainable technology so that they can be, essentially not depending on other country to really feed and get electricity for the rest of the people in the country.
Mhm. Okay. So then we're gonna keep our eyes peeled on what's going on in Tesla China. Perhaps we'll do a part two of this video, Shankster, and you could
For
tell us
sure.
more about what's going on in China, what's really going on, not just the CNBC news of what's going on.
Yeah, CIPC has news about China. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us today. We'll do a part two soon, okay?
Cheers.
Peace out, stock bro. Subscribe, like, share.